Kelson Emery is here, gamer dad. Somehow I got stuck in place here. I activated a turtle pet and boop, I'm stuck. I can't jump, can't move. I can open up stuff, so the keyboard isn't like shut down or out of power. I just can't move. I tried to teleport out. Try this. Dock. You're just too close to that teleporter. No. I just can't teleport. So the funny thing is you try the trapped command. This is basically for if you get trapped in somebody else's claim. It says, you can build here, save yourself. Let me see if I should just break that. Okay. FYI, if you open up a pet, which I opened up a turtle pet, and you get glitched into a block, just break the block. Duly noted. Yeah, welcome to my factory. I loosened them up a little for you before they get down to the XP farm. Oh, that one died. Usually the Endermen do make it down there. And until I get the ranks that I need, I'll eventually open up the livestock to be farmed for XP. But for now, it's not going to work. I don't have the rank yet. Oh, somebody bought something, and I'm almost to 10 lemons. I was so tempted to buy some, like a full set of armor because it was 1 lemon per piece, but I had to remind myself I'm going for 2 ranks, and I want to do it with lemons. Oh darn. I'd say that Enderman's dying on the fall, like the water's taking him out. And it looks like my creeper spawner isn't working. Alright, I gotta figure out what's going on with that. I wasn't gonna do this, but this is gonna lead me into showing the squid spawner too, but I'm gonna need to move my creeper spawner. Supposedly, I know I'm supposed to be able to move things without a silk touch tool, but I'm just a little too paranoid about that. Let's see here. Doop, doop. There we go. There. Alright, here's to seeing if the creeper does its thing. It's kind of my first creeper spawner, so... ultimately had the water there to break the falls, specifically of the slime. The slime was in this group, but the slime was dying no matter what. There it is, creeper. Alright, getting some gunpowder. Although actually all of this is going into my cell chest, so it is what it is. I'm going to eventually move all of these into their individual stations for XP farm, so people can be forced to spread out, and they can pick the mob of their choice. For now, I'll probably just let them have the drops. I'll leave a normal hopper there to collect the occasional drop, just to get a little something out of it. Maybe have a cell chest down beside it. And of course, like myself, if I'm using somebody's XP farm and I'm getting drops, if they have a hopper nearby, I'll go ahead and just drop the drops in the hopper. Because I have my own XP farm, it's just modest, as you can see. Modest. So, creeper drops are working. Everything is working. Actually, is the magma going down there? He doesn't always behave. Sometimes he's up here on the roof, sometimes he's out there. Magmas are a pain in the neck. Magma cube is down there. Alright. And this time the spider made it through the water. Sometimes they just stay up here, definitely. Alright. Home dock. Boat fly. Boat fly off. Alright. I keep forgetting to do that sometimes. I'll leave myself AFK. I did that. Completely juiced out all my vote fly. Couple more ranks and that won't matter. And I'm pretty close. I am so close to one more rank at least. Alright, so squid farm. Fellow recently just asked why his squid farm wasn't working. There's videos on this, how to set this up. So I'm not really going to recreate this because it was a pain in the neck to get this going. You can't just create this and just dump a bucket of water over there. It won't spawn. This is literally flowing from the river water outside of my dock. I'll go over and take a look and show you that for the other end. This is flowing from the river water. These obviously weren't originally source blocks. Before I put the magma cubes in, I put in regular dirt and kelp. I kelped it all the way up into the river to make sure it was all source blocks. Then I cut it. I obviously had these in place to hold the water in place. Then I cut the kelp. I moved the soil. And obviously I had stuff below all of this. And then I put the magma in. And basically I left this in because part of this was part of my original death trap. It goes up and outside. And so like when I used to go AFK in my dock up there, my glass dock, and I'd let the night mobs see me and let them come and get caught in all my traps. There's trenches all the way around this dock, and it enabled me to night farm safely. And I was getting all the drops from the night mobs, except for their heads, of course. So yeah, that's why I left this intact. So there is a minecart hopper, obviously, zooming around, picking up all the drops, and it goes into a cell chest. I'm getting to a point where my cell chest, not a lot of people really want squid ink. I even have a buy chest. I'm not sure what the market is. Sometimes you gotta double check and change your prices. Nobody was. This was at 10,000, and I had somebody who bought and cleaned out my chest for 10,000. But most of the time, I think people are just opting to just make their own squid farm, have their own ink. I have a shepherd that I just trained up to mastery level. but I can sell gray dye to that shepherd. I just need to check to see. Let me grab that actually. Need to check to see if this makes the proper gray dye. Apparently there's two types of gray dyes. So I gotta find out if it's the right one or not. Let's see here. Find item. Sell ink sac. I'm the only game in town who's buying it. I want to say the shop buys it for less if you're selling it to them. So here's an advertisement. At the moment I have this, but up to this point it's almost turning into too much trouble, and I already have a hopper minecart that I can reattach these tracks that go circular, remove that, restart my hopper minecart that will deliver all this ink to a delivery system that relays throughout this underground area. Eventually it pipes it up by water up to my treehouse, pipes it across the branches of the treehouse into my cell chest. The infrastructure is in place already to do that. All I have to do is just go attach, break, hopper minecart, and it's done. So if nobody wants to buy and sell ink sacs, and I'm buying, let me see here, let me make sure, shop. Is the shop buying in ink sacs at all? Really? They're buying it for 5. I'm buying it for 11. I'm going to leave the price at 11. So you can sell it to the shop for 5 per sack, or you can sell it to me. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 chests worth of storage space available. And I don't know, if I don't sell, I'll start coming down on prices until I do sell. But it sort of looks like I'm the only game in town who's buying and selling ink sacs. So if it's too much trouble, it'll go in my cell chest. Be like, is it worth coming down the ladder to tweak this over and over and over again? So yeah, there is your squid farm. Oh, I guess details. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. The one detail that this player regarding the ink farm, or the squid farm, was having a hard time with, I mentioned it indirectly, but I didn't really spell it out. Those squid will not spawn with just bucket water splashing by it. It needs to be from the river or ocean biome, or it will not spawn. The other thing is, if you just have running water and not source blocks for every one of those blocks, the magma can't pull it down, and the squid will stop in mid-flight and just indefinitely hover in the water. I wasted a lot of time troubleshooting this squid farm. So it has to be source blocks. Just to recap, it has to be source water. It has to be touching the river water from the river biome, or the ocean water from the ocean biome. Not your pond, not your homemade pool. None of that will work. So hopefully this helps you if you were thinking about doing a squid farm. Ultimately, they're a pain in the neck, and apparently they don't sell often. I've literally sold a chest full twice. And I started, I'd say the chicken spawner was my first spawner. A cow spawner was my second spawner. And a squid spawner was my third spawner. And I ran around in the river biome killing squids until I got 8 heads and planted that sucker, and then I spent hours troubleshooting this spawner, trying to get it to work. It was a pain in the neck. I was using YouTube videos and kind of trying to come up with a less complicated build, because I had these really complicated builds. And this is what worked for me. Hopefully it's useful. Hopefully you come by some ink, or feel free to let me know if the price is too high. I mean, I'd rather sell it to you guys. Because I don't think you can actually, from what I saw, you can't actually buy it from the shop. You can only sell it to the shop. So, we'll see. I don't know. It was a fun run when I did sell a full chest full. Let's do this. Buying it for 11. It's a lot of trouble to keep coming down here and messing with this. I'd really prefer to have turnover. So yes. Price 25. There. How do you like them apples? I'm buying too, so buy, sell, just teleport in, buy or sell. Oh yeah, actually that reminds me. Let me see what kind of dye I can get out of those ink sacs, and if I can sell it to my villager. This is also an advertisement. Painting. Where do you get dyes at? I would have thought it would have been in here. There. Black dye. Gray dye. Alright. Find item, sell, black. Black dye. No shops. Find item, buy black dye. I can put a crafter at the bottom of that chest and craft a bunch of black dye. Shop visits 21 for that particular shop. Doesn't even look like black dye is really selling too hot, but that's a possibility. Didn't look like for some reason I thought that made gray dye. I forget what it was that led me to believe that. I want to say it was Gemini. Gemini is often wrong. Always cross-reference everything you hear from Gemini, because it's often wrong. And I want to say Gemini had told me that it was gray dye. So I started researching gray dye. There's a market for black dye, obviously. I don't know if it's much. But since the ink sacs aren't really selling, I might just convert this to black dye. Let me know in the comments. Should I leave it black or ink sacs, or should I convert it to black dye with a crafter? It wouldn't be that difficult to set up a crafter down there. I already do it with my iron blocks. So either way, short little segment.